Hello, my name is James Cowling. I'm the Sales Director at Bartek, and with me today is my work colleague.
Yes, my name is Mpo, and I'm the condition monitoring engineer at Martech.
Today, we're going to be discussing asset improvement through looking at using condition monitoring technologies to help you improve the reliability and availability of your assets. One of the most well-known condition monitoring technologies which has been around for years and was actually introduced by NASA back in the 50s and 60s is vibration analysis. Umpo is a specialist in vibration analysis. So Umpo, what is vibration analysis? What does it do? Where do we use it as a business?
Okay, James. So vibration analysis, if I can give you an example, is basically when we take a motor, we would have our sensor and we stick it on the non-drive end. Then once we stick that sensor on the non-drive end, we'd basically be taking vibration of that particular motor. And then we basically go back to the office, analyze that particular data set. And then once we have analyzed it, we're basically going to give you some sort of frequency, put it in a frequency spectrum or time wave form, and give you the different failure modes of that we basically detect.
So is it an absolute value that you look at, or is it a trend? Because as far as I'm aware, there are IEC and IEEE limits or limits for vibration for the different type of motor or fan or pump. You just look at the overall value, and what is it that you can find? I mean, to say that yes, you've done vibration bearings is one. What is it actually giving the customer? What does the customer get at the end of the day, and what can you actually detect with the vibration analysis?
So with us, we're not going to look at an absolute value. We're just going to look at we're going to basically get an RMS trend, and then from that RMS trend, we're basically going to get a time waveform and a frequency spectrum. So with that frequency spectrum and time waveform is where we can actually localize the particular kind of vibration that we're getting from that particular asset.
So you could, for example, say, is it the bearing that's starting to fail, or is there mechanical looseness? Maybe the motor's not being bolted down correctly. Yep. So you can find all of those sort of things.
Yes. So if we're going to have a look at our frequency spectrum, we can basically just look at maybe, for instance, let's take the 1 times. So that 1 times we're going to trend it over time, and then we're going to start seeing some sort of increase. Once we start seeing that increase, that's when we can say, hey, Mr. Customer, we're starting to experience some sort of unbalance on your particular equipment, and here are the actions that you should basically take.
So vibration analysis is effectively the primary technology that's used on rotating or mechanical assets to see if there's something wrong.
Yes.
But there is also other technologies that I think customers are using. Infrared or thermography.
Yes.
Do you do it in conjunction with the vibration analysis to get more information?
So James, the customer needs to look at the FMEA, and this FMEA will basically guide them to a specific technology that they can use to identify a defect earlier. So the FMEA, which basically stands for failure means and effects analysis. So this FMEA, it comprises of a couple of experts that have expertise in that particular machine.
Okay, so it's not just one technology. You can't just say, well, I'm doing vibration analysis, and so you've got to look at what is causing the equipment to fail. It could be temperature or over greasing or over lubricating, which means that you must, for example, use a different technology or don't grease bearings because you're actually over greasing.
Yes.
And then the infrared will probably give you some form of high temperature on the bearing. So I'm assuming that if you go to site as a technician, you don't just go with one piece of equipment. You take a range of technology. And then oil sampling, or people may know of it as tripology. It's effectively like taking a urine sample that you take at the doctor, you take this oil sample, but then what do you do with it?
So James, if I can give you an example, the best piece of equipment to use to do oil sampling on is a gearbox. For instance, let's take a gearbox's operating condition. That's always going to have oil in there to lubricate the 2 gears. So when we have some sort of wearing between those 2 gears, it's basically going to have some sort of shavings that go into that particular oil. And if you extract the sample of that oil and take it to a lab, we will be able to see what kind of different kind of material.
So you're doing particle analysis.
Yes.
So you're seeing, is it a metal or what it is, and then based on that, I'm assuming are there international recommendations or IEC recommendations, or does the lab have limits that they set, and then they can use those limits as a guide as to what you need to do?
So labs have a standard that they follow. For instance, let's just take particles. They follow the ISO 4406. and it's a governing standard that basically talks on the particle that is allowed within a particular oil. So, for instance, bulk oil samples, or rather bulk tanks on a particular site should not exceed a maximum of that 18, 16, 13. Once we start exceeding that, then you basically went over the particular standard.
Assuming that you also may be looking at moisture, because if there's water in oil as well, so it's a range of patches of tests.
Yes, 100%, James.
So, from a mechanical point of view, the three primary condition monitoring technologies that are used is effectively vibration, thermography or infrared scanning, and then oil sampling on your gearboxes. Martech, the wealth of experience. Umpo goes out in the field for us and captures data. If you want to know more information, please visit our website. There are case studies, technical presentations, papers from our suppliers. We represent CTC on the vibration sensor side, SDT on the ultrasound side, ACOM on the vibration side. So we have a wide range of suppliers and principles on the website. So please, if you need any more information, please visit www.martech.co.za.